For they are coming back. At last, the promise has been made.
Hello everyone, I'm Giuseppe Nelva from DualShockers.com and I'm your host for this third episode of our WeebCast. As usual, with me is our charming co-host, Emily Hobbs.
Hello. I didn't think we would get to 3 episodes. Here we are.
Was it really like the prospect was it really so bad?
No, I just didn't think people would like it, but they love us. At least that's my headcanon.
Okay, alrighty. For those who haven't checked out the first 2 episodes, you really should listen to them, you know. This new podcast is about an hour of us talking about Japanese games, some anime, Japanese geek culture, and a bit of Japan in general. Because we love Japan. So yeah, we're weebs. So today, our main theme is going to be the much discussed Final Fantasy VII Remake. But before we go in there, what do you play this week, Emily?
Well, let's see. What games have I played this week? I played the Monster Hunter World, the new monster that came out, the Kulve Taroth, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. The gold one. The gold raid Taroth, monster. Yes. Yeah. I played that. Don't really like it that much. I like the design of it. I like the El Dorado caves. Mm-hmm. But I just never got enough people to actually have that 16-player experience that they were touting, and it was a lot of things that I didn't like in terms of the end game of Monster Hunter World, where you go out and you collect the footprints for the tempered monsters, and it really pulls back some of the momentum. So it's not my favorite edition. I'm glad there's an edition, and I really hope that we see a big update in terms of Monster Hunter World for just a bunch of monsters, because I feel like that's the only way they're going to keep it fresh. I mean, they have the events, and the events are great, but if you're just hunting the same monsters over and over again, I mean...
Well, I think that they're... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Well, I think they actually are adding monster at the pace they can add monsters, because they are pretty complex, so... I think each
understand that. Yeah,
takes time to implement. So they have been. This is actually the second monster in a month, I think, because Devil Joe was a month ago, something like that, right?
Yeah, but Devil Joe they had ready for the demo, I think. So they had the skeleton in place at least.
Well, yeah, but so. I believe they are I don't think they're doing a big expansion as much as pushing out each monster when it's ready. That's what my impression is.
That's my impression too. It's just I worry a lot that they're going to lose a large amount of their player base, so there's not going to be anyone to play these, you know. And I really don't want that to happen, because I really like Monster Hunter World. I really like the Monster Hunter series. I'm really glad to see it getting this graphical update, this quality of life update. It's a great game. It's just the end game slows down a lot, especially with the tempered monsters, with the having to go out and get a random chance of finding a specific monster and getting the tracks and getting the quest. It's just random on top of random on top of random. So I don't really like that part, but it's a good game, and I will definitely keep going back every time they add new monsters and playing, and I'm gonna try and play as much as I can, because I really do love it. It's a great game. Otherwise, I started, and I haven't gotten too deep into either of these games, but I started Yakuza 6 and Evil Within 2, which is kind of an older game, but I had it on my shelf for a while and never got around to playing it.
Which is a Japanese game. Many don't know that Evil Within 2 is a Japanese game, because it doesn't really have much of a Japanese aesthetic in many ways, but yeah, it is a Japanese game.
Yeah. And going back to Evil Within 2, I really like Evil Within 2. And I say that because I wasn't a huge fan of Evil Within 1. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. I was just kind of disappointed, not really interested. But I really like some of the improvements they made to gameplay. It feels a lot tighter. It feels a lot faster. I really like how they're characterizing Sebastian a bit more. when he just yells at people and just like when you're watching a movie and you're like, stop talking to the guy, just like shoot him or just talk it out or something. He just goes and shoots people, and that's great. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that.
What about Yakuza 6?
Yakuza 6 is really, really good. You can tell there's certain aspects because it came out right before Yakuza 0, technically in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can tell there's
No, it actually came out after Yakuza 0,
Oh, right, came out after. But they were close, but it came out after, okay. It's a little jankier than Yakuza 0, because Yakuza 0 had some really solid design choices. But so far, what I've seen of it, I'm really enjoying. I'm really liking Kiryu's story. And I like Haruto. And I'm going to keep playing that. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm actually waiting to get back to school to play more of it so that I can show my roommates, because they love to see all the crazy, wacky stuff that goes on in the Yakuza series. But
okay.
Yeah. So.
Anything else?
Nope. What have you played so that you don't forget?
Well, thank you. I've been playing, not Japanese game, but I've been playing quite a lot of God of War because after review, I kept playing it because it's just too good. But beyond that, I've been playing another game for review, which is not Japanese as well. It's BattleTech. But, BattleTech, there is a little bit of a story because there is a bit of Japan in BattleTech. BattleTech is from a tabletop war game from the 90s, from Phasa Corporation, which I actually used to play when I was a kid, when I was much younger. And if you're familiar with the MechWarrior franchise, it's the same franchise, it's the same IP. Just MechWarrior used to be the role-playing game, and BattleTech used to be the tabletop war game with miniatures. So but BattleTech basically is a strategy war game. But the thing is that when they made BattleTech, IP laws were a little bit junkier than they are now. So basically, they took a bunch of designs of robots from Macross, and they just put them into BattleTech. And then there was like this big lawsuit with Harmony Gold and stuff, and they had to change all the mecha designs because, of course, they couldn't use like another IPs mechas without permission, right? Yeah. So there is a tiny bit of Japan. It has been removed via lawsuit, but still. Then I've been going on to my like fourth playthrough of Mavla Alternative, and I'm going to the really, really hard part, and I've been crying like an idiot for a long time.
That's good.
Been playing a usual bunch of mobile game, Mavla Alternative Strike Frontier. I've been playing some more Grand Blue Fantasy. There was the Detective Conan event in it. And by the way, like you guys, our listener, don't you can't you wait for the first review by our Emily? Because when she says what game she's playing, like her description is so good, I just can't wait to see her first review.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what like horrible game you're gonna have me play as my first review.
That will be a spoiler. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't done much in terms of Japanese games this week because I was really like, I was really busy with reviews, and I actually have to write a preview for tomorrow morning. So when you see when you listen to this podcast, we're already out, but it's still not a Japanese game. It's a very like relevant Western French game that you probably know about for PS4. No spoilers. I can't say it. Well, I actually could, because when this comes out, the embargo will be already out. I forgot that I'm not live. So yeah, it's Detroit Become Human. So yeah, I can't say it because the embargo is tomorrow afternoon before this podcast comes out. So yeah, and I like it a lot. That's all I'll say. If you want to know more, go see my preview, go read our interview with the story with the writer of the game, and you see what I mean. Other than that, I'm down with games. What about anime?
Anime, I have had an interesting week.
What do you say? Anime?
What? Anime?
It's anime.
Animu?
Stop anime. Stop being so American.
Okay. But I've had a pretty interesting week for anime. Tokyo Ghoul Re continues, so I'm not going to harp on that. That's still going on. I'm not super happy, anyway. But yeah. But it's good, kind of. I watched the first episode of Steins Gate Zero.
How is it?
It's good. It's really good. It's doing a really good job kind of characterizing the PTSD that Kyoma has from going back and forth between timelines.
Are you using your Shinibu name? Oh, in Kyoma.
Yes. Nah, he does. He does in the first few episodes call himself by his actual legit, I don't know, Christian name.
He's Japanese. He's not Christian.
I know. I just like saying that. But it's good so far. It takes place on the beta timeline, and the first episode shows us Amadeus, which is interesting. I think I'm gonna wait till all the episodes come out and binge watch them, because that's a series that I would prefer to binge watch, just because of how hard it is to keep up with it when you have to wait a week in between. And then I watched a bunch of DC animated movies in anticipation for Marvel's Infinity War.
DC really, in anticipation of Marvel?
Yes. Really, it was just because I want to, because the DC animated movies are actually really good. As opposed to... actually, yes, one of them was. So I watched 3. I watched Justice League Dark. I watched Batman Under the Red Hood. Those are both... Western, Under the Red Hood. If you're a DC fan, I would definitely recommend. It's got a really stellar voice acting cast, and it's a really good movie. But getting on to the Japanese stuff, the other thing that I watched was Batman Gotham Knight, which was actually, it was a partnership between DC and Warner Brothers and a couple of Japanese animation studios, and they made like 6 anthology, short video series and put them together in a movie. And they had people from Madhouse, B-Train, Production IG, blah, 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 and Studio 4C. And they made 6 different stories with 6 different animation styles. And it had classic Batman voice. And it was interesting. Not all of them were great, but a lot of them were interesting and really neat, and it's kind of cool to see. I think Marvel did something with some Japanese animation studios and made like Marvel animes for a few things way back, but this is a fairly older thing, but it was neat, and some really interesting animation. And there was one story where Bruce Wayne looked like Light Yagami from Death Note, but had like Bruce Wayne voice, and it was really jarring. And so I just spent the entire section of that movie just staring at Light Yagami Batman, and it was very, very jarring. That's me. That's it for me in terms of anime and movies and stuff. So on to you.
Okay, no comment about that. So, speaking of Batman, though, in 2 days, Batman Ninja's coming out. That's Japanese? So I'm actually pretty excited for that one. I really don't know anything about it besides the fact that it looks really cool, because I just saw the trailers. So I'm actually pretty excited for that.
The animated team at DC does some really awesome stuff, and it's a shame because the live-action movies don't do as much. But, yeah, it should be interesting to see that. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Well, I say Japanese, but it's kind of American-Japanese co-production with, like, a Japanese direction and American production. We'll see how it is, though. I'm curious. Yeah. After that, I saw, besides the usual that I've seen, like, already the first episode, I talked about it in the previous episode, I've seen, like, Legend of Galactic Heroes, Persona 5, Full Metal Panic, Invisible Victory, and the other ones that I mentioned before. There are actually a new one that I checked out, and that's Golden Kamuy. That's actually pretty interesting, set in Hokkaido, like with a Ainu. Like the co-protagonist is Ainu.
Oh, really?
So it's like really interesting. I just seen the first episode, but the first episode were real interesting. So I'm actually looking forward to see more of that. Then I watched
Golden Kamuy.
Golden Kamuy. It's like an historical
drama.
drama.
Check that out.
Then I've seen the first episode of the new series Soten no Ken, which is basically a new reimagination of Okuto no Ken, and I dropped it immediately because it doesn't really compare with the original, so I don't really care. I've seen the Caligula series, the first 2 episodes. That's from from a video game, from a RPG by Furyu, and that's pretty interesting so far. Pretty crazy, but if you play the game, you know it's crazy. It's kind of Persona not by Atlus, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting so far. And the game is actually coming out for PS4 now. Before it was only for PS Vita. So we'll actually see if it came out only for PS Vita, also in the West. I'm actually wondering if the PS4 version comes out in the West, because I play it very happily. And then I've seen another interesting one, which is Otaku Nikoi wa Muzukashi, which basically means love is difficult for an otaku.
Okay.
Which is super cute so far. Basically, it's another of those like romantic / comedy / heartwarming stories. Basically, it's like a fujoshi, so like a female otaku. Yeah, I know I'm simplifying. It's basically falls in love with a male game otaku, and there is this scene that I need to talk about it because it's so cute. Because she's very self-conscious about being a fujoshi, an otaku. So she tries to hide it at work, and she always tries to hide it from her boyfriends, and she ends up breaking up with them. So basically they've been friends since like childhood, and they have this moment in the anime. So spoiler alert, if you don't want to listen to this, just skip by 5 minutes, 2 minutes or something like that. So, basically there is this scene in which, they play Monster Hunter on the Switch. In an izakaya, in a Japanese pub. Probably.
Is it like actually Monster Hunter?
Well, it looks like Monster Hunter XX. It's kind of changed, but it double cross, however you want to call it. But they play Monster Hunter, and he's helping her farm materials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get out of the izakaya half drunk, and she's like complaining about her boyfriends, and he's like, why not me? I would help you farm as much as you want. You will be able to share your passions with me without having to hide and all that. And that in the end, like, after this really cool speech that I'm not imitating as well as he does it, they actually get together. So it's really cute. And spoilers, so you can restart listening, just unplug your ears. Yeah, and by the way, funny thing, this is not a spoiler, that scene with the Switch, in the original manga, it was a PSP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they changed it because the PSP is not cool anymore.
Not cool anymore. Yeah.
The manga was like from 2014. So the PS, well, it was already PS Vita era, but the manga actually had a PSP because PS Vita did not have Monster Hunter. So yeah, they had to use a PSP back then. But the funny thing is that like this scene with the, like they changed it to Nintendo, even if Nintendo doesn't have the latest Monster Hunter. It's kind of funny as well because like the PSP was super popular among women in Japan, and this is a josei manga, so for women, for adult young and adult women. So it actually, the Switch is not yet very widespread with them because it doesn't have many like otome games yet. Like otome games normally they're almost all of them are were on PSP and then on PS Vita. So it'd be interesting if it's like this, like foreshadowing, and we'll see like a boom of otome games on the Switch sooner or later. But also, it's an indication that the Switch is getting popular in Japan because, when it started to be prominently featured in anime, anime are a mirror of Japanese society. So in the end, it's very interesting. But funnily, another funny thing is that actually, the PSP is obsolete, but I was in Japan for a month, and on the train, I've seen 3 PSPs. I haven't seen a single Switch.
Oh my God.
PSP never disappoints. It's always there.
I mean, it had some good games on it.
Yeah, PSP is I actually bought a PSP game when I was in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought a physical copy of Valkyria Chronicles 3 because I didn't have a physical one. I just had it digital. And I saw it for like $4 at the used game store. So I just grabbed it. I was like, yay. Okay, so that's it for my anime as well. So we can move on to our main topic, which is Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
So basically what happened? What happened in this week with Final Fantasy VII? Yesterday, I came out, I was checking out my Japanese news, and there was this Japanese blog called Game Kana that was reporting about a career opportunity ad talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. And it was actually pretty interesting because it was very detailed. It included some interesting detailed information about what's happening with the game. And first of all, it says it's in full production. So that's something. So the rumors that it was like in pre-production yet or whatever are not true. It's in full production, full scale development actually. And they actually don't want to just remake the old Final Fantasy game, but they want to exceed it. They don't want just to copy what was done, but they want to create something partly at least new. So, let's start with this part. What do you think about this?
I can definitely respect that. I'm glad that they're seeing that kind of the scope and the scale of the project and seeing that they have a lot to work with and that it's a big franchise, but also that they want to kind of bring something new to the table because the original Final Fantasy VII came out and then it had like 50 spin-offs and that's got a lot of story to it. There's a lot of story in those 50 spin-offs. So I think there's a lot.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of story and a lot of stuff that they can kind of draw from to get this new creation that they want, but still stay true to the original form of the game or the story or what it meant, to people. So
yeah, they say they want to create a new worldview while protecting concept familiar to players. Funnily, though, at the end of the article, it kind of says exactly the opposite because there is a testimonial with 2 developers that say that we want to preserve the worldview that familiar to players while revolutionizing the familiar concept. So yeah, that's exactly the opposite at the end of the thing. It's kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, they want to preserve something and they want to revolutionize something else, right? Which I'm also very happy with.
Yeah, which I can respect.
Sorry?
Yeah.
You broke up a bit. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, no, keep going.
No,
I said which I can respect.
Right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, me too, actually. And what the thing is that I understand that people that would like just the original Final Fantasy VII, like just remade with the better graphics. But first of all, if they are going to make 3 games, because it's going to be 3 games of the size of a game, of course they have to pull out something new, because otherwise, Final Fantasy VII is a long game, but it's not 3 games long, right? It's 3 discs long, but it's not 3 games long. And secondly, what's most important is that if I want to play Final Fantasy VII, I play Final Fantasy VII. It's available on 34 platforms already.
Yeah, seriously, if you want to play it, you can find it.
Yeah, really. I mean, if I have to stay with this development team for 6 years, because I think, well, for 3 to 6 years, depending how much time there will be between each chapter, I want to see something new. I don't want to just replay what I played before with just new graphics. Like for me, a good remake is the remakes Sega is doing with Yakuza series, with Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2. And they are adding a lot to the original Yakuza and to Yakuza 2. So Yakuza Kiwami 2, that they already actually played in Japanese, is massively better than the original Yakuza 2. And Yakuza 2 is already the best Yakuza that they released before. And it's better than Yakuza 0. Let me tell you that. I'm so
excited for Yakuza 2.
Yeah.
Kiwami.
Well, it's still Yakuza 2, but better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm actually pretty stoked that they don't just... I mean, Square Enix could literally release a remaster with just slightly upgraded graphics of the game, and they will make money head over heels.
Yeah, and this is going to make money head over heels.
Yeah, but they're putting a lot more work into it. So that they are actually doing something bold. Like, if you look at the difference with Shenmue 1 and 2, it's like they're going to make a ton of money with it, probably, but it's basically zero effort, or almost.
It's a slight graphical boost. This is like head to toe, completely new.
Exactly.
Like everything. So, definitely.
I can definitely respect that. And I'm sad for those that complain about it, because it's kind of disrespectful towards developers that are actually making an effort to create a product. And I don't know if it's going to be better than the original. They say they want to exceed the original. Of course, it's good and right to put, it's not a disrespect towards the original. It's just, even because the original creators are working on this game. So it's like more setting yourself the highest goals you can to try to make the best thing you can. I think that's the right attitude, right?
I agree. And to people who might feel a little disappointed at certain points during development when things get announced, I mean, I was kind of disappointed when I heard that it wasn't going to be turn-based. And then I gave it a chance, and I watched some videos, and I saw it was going to be more, Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts kind of style, very active gameplay, real-time. And over time, I was like, that's fine. That's fine.
Actually, this ad actually gives information about that, too. It says that they want to add action on top of the original turn-based system. So it's basically an addition. So it's not going to be completely action. I don't think it's going to be exactly what we saw. Like, what we saw was a proof of concept. So it says literally a new Final Fantasy with action elements added to traditional strategy. So I think it's going to be different, something that probably we haven't played yet. It's not Final Fantasy 15 action-y. It's not Kingdom Hearts 3 action-y. But it could be something maybe closer to Dragon Quest XI, which has a little bit of action on top of turns, maybe a little bit more action. I don't know. But they did say that strategy is still involved. So the turn-based in some way is still there. How? We don't know, but it's still there. So yeah, how does it make you feel?
Huh?
How does it make you feel?
Say it again.
How does that make you feel?
The remake as a whole, I'm really excited about it. I know it's gonna be a long process, both in terms of development and just release, because they are releasing it, episodically, or however you want to word it. But I'm excited for it.
I meant more actually, how does it make you feel that there is going to be involvement of turn-based somehow?
Well, I don't necessarily know how they're gonna, implement turn-based in addition to the action-y style. I'm very interested to see what they do. They've had a lot of trial and error with certain combat systems over others, so
personally,
it's too early to tell.
I would be okay if it was an alternative, like you could have it turn-based or action, depending on what you want.
Oh, you could switch back. That'd be neat.
That could be possible, or just I mean, could be something that similar to what they did with the Valkyria Revolution, but better, hopefully. I mean, that idea what they had with the Valkyria Revolution, the basic idea of mixing strategy and action was not terrible. Is the execution that was really bad. Mm-hmm. But that was like another thing because they kind of did that in the running. It wasn't really their initial idea. They caved to pressure. So I think that's the reason why it was not very well implemented, but we'll see how it is. Yeah. But yeah, another thing that they say is that staff members that work a number of Final Fantasy games have been joining the team one after the other. So it's literally a lot of veterans that, as they finish other games, are continuing to join this team that's getting bigger and bigger. So looks like there is going to be a lot of like veteran help on top of new developers. So I actually think this is neat that they are pairing together new developers and veterans to do something new on something so storied and so important.
Yeah, I agree. I find it really reassuring in one way that we have veterans coming onto the team, and so you have new, fresh ideas, but you also have kind of the minds behind some of the classic ideas. And then also because it makes it seem like people want to be a part of this project. People want to come on and help out and be a part of this. So that means to me that people who are in the development cycle are getting excited about it and want to get on board. So I see good things from that kind of announcement.
Yeah, me too, actually. I actually always like the idea of putting like new developers, new blood together with like older developers. Like this, one of the recent game that was really like developed on this philosophy was Monster Hunter World, and we saw great things from that. So, like Monster Hunter World is literally the result of this philosophy of many new developers joining Capcom to work on this game, or from like still recently hired developer from other games working on it under the direction of veterans and with veteran developers. Because of course the old Monster Hunter team was too small to work on something this big by itself, so they got new blood. And I hope the same result comes with Final Fantasy VII.
I agree. I think we'll see some pretty interesting things from them coming forward. But
Yep. Interesting. They also say that it's a project that got developers who have been influenced by the original, and it's a result of joining everyone hot passion for the original game. And I think like if you're passionate for a game and you're the game developer, if you do it respectfully, with respect from the original developers with them, you can great results. That's my opinion.
I agree. And we saw it with God of War. I mean, you see all of the behind-the-scenes videos of the development team of Santa Monica Studios and everyone involved, and they're so. This game was a part of their life for its development cycle, and they're so passionate about it. And here comes God of War, and it's getting 10 on 10s all over the place. So, not to get everyone too hyped, but I think it's definitely a good thing that it has passion behind it as well.
Yeah. One other thing that I wanted to address is when is it going to come out? Because I've seen a lot of things. Every time someone at Square Enix publishes a career development ad, like this one or other, there are like people say, "Oh, it's going to come out in 2022 because they're still hiring people." Well, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no.
Literally, in game development, many companies just hire people even in the last few months of development. Like, I'm not saying that they are in the last few months of development because we don't know. They're not telling us. But literally, you see as a very normal practice, even director level developers or lead level developers or all kind of developers, even planners. This is say, they're hiring a planner, so they're still planning these things. I think people get too hung up on the wording. Planner is simply, it's a person that plans things, but planners work as a team. The fact that they are hiring battle planners and level planners does not mean that they don't have battle planners and level planners working at planners in Japan are simply people that organize the work. And you need to organize the work at the end of development as at the beginning of development. So, like, they already have this ad was for battle planner and level planners, and it already had a testimonial from 2 level planners that are already working on the game. So they're just adding them to the team. It's not like they're starting planning these things. So it does not say in any shape or form that this is in a like basic state of development or just into pre-production or whatnot. It just says that they're still making the team bigger. And especially when you're in the last months of developer, when you're really crunching, it's actually the moment in which you hire the most. Because you need to have as many people as possible on the project. I'm not saying that, again, it's in the last months of development. Personally, I think it's going to come out in 2019 because it's they already have Kingdom Hearts 3 this year. So there is no need to rush it. But in the end, we also have to think about something. Yeah, it's been announced 3 years ago. And so people, they announced it 2 years early. But remember that they were developing the game with CyberConnect 2. And they brought the development back into in-house. And while some people say that they rebooted it, I don't think they rebooted it. They know where they said they scrapped what they were already done. But of course, there has been some kind of delay. So I think Square Enix actually planned to release this game this year at the beginning. So I think they actually started with the idea of releasing in 2018. And then this switch in development made them probably delay it to maybe 2019. So it's not like they announced it too early, but sometimes, crap happens in development. Unforeseen circumstances happen, so you have to internally delay a game. They never gave it the release date, so it's not an actual public delay. I think that the project was internally delayed, and probably for the better. Normally, don't do it for sport,
Yeah. And honestly, I'm fine with them taking the time that they need to get things sorted out, because this is a big project, and they've got Kingdom Hearts 3 possibly coming out eventually, and that's gonna tide them over for a while. So they got time, and I know people want to see it come out as soon as possible, but.
Yeah, but again, if I want to play Final Fantasy VII in the meanwhile, I'll play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, really, or any of the 50 spin-offs.
Yeah, I mean,
watch
there is Final Fantasy VII. It exists.
Oh
you can play it right now.
Go play Crisis Core. That was great.
PSP if you want to play Crisis Core. Yeah,
there's a million.
You can play it on PS2 if you want to play Dirge of Cerberus. Or how you pronounce that, but if you want to play Final Fantasy VII, the original, you can play it right now on PC, PS4, whatever. There is a million of possibilities for you to play it. So I'm not excessively in a hurry. If I prefer them to do it right, like I understand that people are tired of waiting when they announced it, but development, there are things that like take 5 years from announcement or more. So it's not like 3 years is so much. If it comes out in 2019, it's gonna be 4 years. So it's perfectly fine in terms of like average time of development. So I'm not too worried about it. I just hope it's good. And if it's not, we still have the original.
Yeah, exactly. I have a question for you in regards to this whole, because Final Fantasy VII was a game that people were shouting for to get, remade, remastered, what have you, with upgraded graphics and all that. And now it's getting that. Yeah. Is there a game that you would like to see get this kind of treatment? An older game, perhaps?
I would actually prefer like Final Fantasy IV, because that's my favorite Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like Final Fantasy IV was really the first Final. My first Final Fantasy IV was the original Final Fantasy I on the NES, but Final Fantasy IV was the first that I finished, and was the first that I actually finished the first 3, but I finished them after 4. The fourth was to finish the first Final Fantasy that made me say, yes, I really loved this series. It was romantic, it was nice, it had great characters, it had great adventure, great world view. It was really still my favorite Final Fantasy to date. But there are so many games that I would like to see remade like this, and sometimes some of them may come in the future. But honestly, personally, I've never been so much into, oh my god, I want this game to be remade. Because if I want to play a game, I just play that game. Like a remake is a bonus. Makes sense? It's something more that I get and I'm happy. But if I don't get it, I have the original. I can still play the original and I'm great. I would love to see the Valkyria Chronicles 2 and 3 remade. Or at least remastered. Even just a remaster would be great. Because I think people are, especially with 3, they're missing a lot of, a great game there. 2 was hit and miss. I still like it, even if people give it a lot of shit. But, it was, let's say, among all the Valkyria Chronicles games was the worst. Even if it was not bad again. But 3 is a game that, like, it's a pity that Western people are not playing. There is a fan translation, so that's good, but, like, it would be nice for it to get a remaster and a full actual localization from Sega. I would really be happy, I would really be happy if that happened. What about you?
I would say I would like to see Morrowind remade, Elder Scrolls.
To play on Xbox One X.
Yeah, but the older game it's really, I would like to see it remade with better graphics and maybe a better combat system. Not necessarily Skyrim's, but just,
There is a Skyrim mod that does it.
Yeah, I saw it's like Morrowind.
It's not Japanese. What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know.
Okay. Morrowind. Okay. Stop. Yeah. No more. Something Japanese that you would like to be remade.
I would like to see. Well, this isn't a remake, I guess, technically speaking. But I would like to see another Pokemon Stadium or a Pokemon game that encompasses going through all of the different regions. That I think would be like. I got a lot with Digimon. The Digimon Cyber Sleuth games that came out, and then the Digimon World game that came out, that kind of scratched the itch of I wanted some of the older games to be remade. So, in terms of Japanese, I'm really excited with how Yakuza's doing too. Definitely. So.
Really? Pokemon.
Really? Hey, first game I ever played. Pokemon Red.
Oh my god. Yeah, sorry, I was gagging a little bit before, so if you hear some strange noises, that's why.
Hold on, let me just write up some Legend of Zelda articles, and that'll put them to the coffin.
Well, just the fact that you play Pokemon Red and not Blue makes you guilty. But
fight me! My brother had Blue, so I had to have
Blue was
Red.
the only Pokemon I ever played, so.
Well, we'll fix that one day.
It disgusted me back then, and I never played it before again anymore.
Well, I'm sorry you're missing out, man.
No, I'm not. I mean, I've seen pieces and bits, and I'm like, God, is this like a story?
There's parallel worlds now. There's a multiverse. There's a Pokemon multiverse. Wow. It's getting real weird.
People are marrying Pokemon, I heard.
Oh man. But yeah.
So back to Final Fantasy VII though. So when do you think it's gonna come out?
Are we talking when will it be out completely, or when
the first one? We have no idea when the
I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I think 2019 is reasonable. I think 2019 to 2020. I don't think expect it anytime this year. Definitely not.
This year probably not. Yeah, I think 2019 is probably more probable than 2020, because 2020 is going to be another big year for Square Enix. They're going to have the Avengers game probably. So even because like when they said when they had this financial thing that they had the president of Square Enix that was talking about these big blockbuster games they were talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the Avengers game, and they say that they're going to come out sequentially in the next 3 years. And he actually, in the Japanese version, actually used the word sequentially. So I'm thinking that it's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts 2018, Final Fantasy VII first episode 2019 and Avengers 2020. So yeah, that's my prediction. Maybe I'd be wrong, but that's my prediction.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the one thing that I would like to address, last thing, is the negativity. Like there is been some really stifling negativity from some fans about this. People, let them do their job. I mean, they're developers. They're not noobs. Square Enix is not perfect. There's made mistakes in its history, but give them a chance.
They've been around for a while, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, give them a chance. Let's wait until we see it before we start screaming. Because honestly, I've seen some negativity that's really to the point of disrespect towards the developer. And there are people that work so hard. Like if you I don't know. I know I'm going back to God of War again, and that's not Japanese. But watch the video that we have on the side with Cory Barlog reading the reviews of the game and see how the guy cries about it. Because these people that make games are human people. They're persons. So they're people that they have feelings. So think about it and in Japan, work conditions are not easy. So think about it when you get home and it's maybe 11 in the evening after you've been working on the game from 8:30 or 9 in the morning in that big skyscraper in Shinagawa in Shinjuku that they have at Square Enix. I've been there quite a few times. They're actually a very nice office, but still, think about it. When they get home and they have to read people that talk to them like they were incompetent. And I'm not talking just the leads. I'm talking about from the leads to the janitor. To the pretty much everyone that worked to any programmer,
from top to bottom.
Everyone. Yeah. It's discouraging. I've been working on things myself, and reading the comments makes, even honestly, personally, I put a lot of efforts in writing my articles, and when I see some of the seething negativity in the comment, I get discouraged, and I'm just writing articles. Think about if you're actually working in the game.
A multi-million-dollar game.
Give him a chance. No, really. Give him a chance. If it's bad, then we'll have time to clamor when it's bad.
Yeah, we can burn it at the stake if it comes out and it's bad. But let's wait until we get out.
No burning. But yeah, let's give him a chance. So yeah.
I agree, yeah.
And I also would like to thank those who reported on Days and actually credited DualShockers at the source. Because we were the first Western side to report about it, and there were a few Western side that actually reported it, citing us at the source, and there were some other side that immediately after they just casually discovered this thing from an obscure Japanese source, and they totally did not take it from DualShockers. Absolutely not. Okay.
Throwing shade.
No, I'm just saying. I'm actually thankful to those that, honestly, other sides' colleagues that respectfully took the articles from our site, and it's great, and absolutely happy that when other people report my articles, but actually gave us credit. Like it's a small thing, but it goes a long way to make people happy.
It does, yeah.
So yeah. Beyond that, let's move on the news. I think we knocked out Final Fantasy VII, unless you have more to say about it.
No, I think we talked it out, unless you want to get started on, as I said, the 50 different spin-offs that they have.
I know you have to go cooking.
Yeah.
You're hungry, huh? It's Sunday.
Yeah, that's not like a women in the kitchen joke. I do actually have to go cook dinner after this.
I was not trying to do a women in the kitchen joke.
I know.
Anyway, news for the week. So, Monster Hunter World will get the new Sakura event on May 4th. It's gonna be 3 quests, and you're gonna let you unlock the Sakura armor, like Sakura from Street Fighter V. So you can do a Hadouken.
Yep.
You're gonna have it, like you're gonna unlock it. I knew you wanted armor. No.
No. I'm just going to give it plenty of burial time so that people can isolate that sound clip and then lay it over things of you doing Hadoken in a very high-pitched female voice.
Did you unlock the cool Vitara armor yet?
Yeah, I have. I was talking about it earlier, but...
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
The armor looks great on girls, though.
Oh, yeah, no, the armor's really cool. I just wish it had, like, the bonus that you get for having, a set or pieces from a set. Devil Joe and Kuve Torov don't have those, which is unfortunate. I think eventually they'll get them, probably.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I actually haven't played it yet because I haven't had time. I was just listening to RX on doing his usual videos. That he has some great videos on Monster Hunter. And he was talking about the skills on those armor, and there seemed like some really, really good skills.
Yeah, it has some good skills. It's just, I wish they had the
bonus,
the set bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, for all you waifu lovers out there, Summer Lesson, the two second and third Summer Lesson games for PlayStation VR. So Chisato Shinjo and what was the name of the other girl? The American girl, forgot. Are coming in English this summer because it's Summer Lesson. So yeah. It's not going to be in the West. It's going to be in Southeast Asia, but you can simply import it from the PSN. It's going to be easy for if you want it. And there are English subtitles, and they're actually, I always like those games, even if I personally don't have PlayStation VR. I tried the original, Ikari Miyamoto, and that was like very expressive. The scope of the game is very limited, but as an experience, short-term experience, they're really fun. I don't think you have any comment on this.
Alison Snow, I think, was the English girl.
Yeah, Alison Snow, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I do have a comment. When are we getting our Yoko Taro DLC for Summer Lesson?
I'd buy it.
I would buy it.
I'd buy PlayStation VR for it. Like, if you give me 2B, I'm fine. I'm done. Like, you want Yoko Taro, I get you 2B.
Yeah.
Okay, I get deal.
I want Adam and Eve, and then just Yoko Taro as a joke. Yeah, you can do like a bonus.
Okay, all right. So, more news. Disgaea 1 Complete is coming west this fall for PS4 and Switch. Disgaea 1 Complete is basically the remake / remaster. It's pretty much in the middle of the first Disgaea Hour Darkness. So that's a great game if you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Did you play the first? Did you play Disgaea?
I did not play the first Disgaea, but I have played a couple of the games here and there, and then the one spin-off that they had, that was like a different series. I forget what it was called. But they're long games.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're great games if you like strategy RPG, though.
Oh yeah,
they are
definitely.
So long. The funny thing is that they have a collector's edition coming from the West. And they have in this collector's edition there is a Etna Nopai mousepad, which is basically a flat as a surfboard mousepad because Opai means chest, and Nopai, of course, they can understand what it means. So basically, it's your flat mousepad because you can't expect too much from Etna, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I found it kind of cute, though.
It's clever. I like that.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. Then this one came out of the blue, completely out of the blue. SNK to celebrate its 40th anniversary. They announced its own retro console, with Neo Geo titles. So like Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Samurai Shodown, and Metal Slug and stuff like that. So that's interesting. I'm actually curious to see what they're gonna do. I actually used to have a Neo Geo, and stuff was so costly in it.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see all of these companies doing like the retro console thing,
Yeah, my Neo Geo, I had 2 games for it because I was poor.
Oh my god, yeah.
I had what Samurai Shodown was it? Like, I don't remember which one was it. Samurai Shodown, and then another game that's not very famous, but yeah, it was 2 games, but it was like way too costly. Oh, World Heroes. It was a World Heroes. I don't remember which one exactly. It was to like fighting games. I'm terrible at fighting games. But yeah, I actually hope that World Heroes is included in this console because I actually kind of like that thing. I'm trying to remember if it was World Heroes the one I had because now my memories are kind of blurry because I may have instead played a lot of that. I know I played a lot of that at the arcade when I was like a kid in the. Like in a sea resort, there was like the arcade, and with all my friends, we were like playing all these like arcade. And I wasted so much money. But yeah, I don't remember which one is the second one. Yeah, I think it was World Heroes, but I'm not sure. I should just go look into my boxes. Anyway, yeah, I had 2 games and it was terrible, too costly. I loved the console. It was awesome, and the idea of the CDs back then was like still new and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, which one are you more excited for, like the Mega Drive or the Neo Geo, whatever it's gonna be called?
Honestly, the Neo Geo, because I have a lot more sort of history with SNK than Sega, I think.
Really? Are you a fighting games girl?
I want to be, but they don't want me to be. I like fighting games a lot more than they like me. So. I might pick it up depending on, what games are on it, what it has, price point, that sort of thing. But I think it's a really neat idea. And again, to see all these companies coming out with retro consoles, I think is really cool.
Well, finally, I play fighting games for the story mode, and then I drop them because as soon as I set foot online, I get destroyed.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't either, but
I remember playing like Samurai Shodown on the Neo Geo, and I was like trying all the characters to find some characters that I was decent at, and I had to settle on Galford because I was the only one that actually really I was able to play semi-decently.
Well, it's like you were talking about Siegfried last
Pretty
week,
much,
I think
yeah.
it was.
But it's the same for every fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, the only one that I actually got decent at, that I actually knew how to play multiple characters, was a Shiritsu Justice Gakuen. What's the English name of that one? The one by Capcom. It's basically an anime, and it's a,
Say it again for me?
Rival Schools.
Ah.
That's the Western name. I would so like to see it. That's the one I want to remake of. I want a remake of Rival Schools. I want a remake. Capcom, please, give me a remake of Rival Schools, but with all the features this time. Not that they removed like the whole dating scene part from the. It was a mix between a fighting and a dating scene. So it was
so strange.
It's not strange. You could create your character and grow it through the dating sim and then fight.
I know. It's just get your rival school. Gotta fight your rival high school. Oh man.
You should judgmental sometimes.
Huh?
So judgmental sometimes.
Yeah, I am. Says the man who's definitely not judgmental in any way.
I don't judge anyone ever.
Ever. Never, ever, ever. I've never seen him ever judge anyone.
Never. More news. The Yakuza Studio, or Ryugo Studio, how you want to call it, has its own new IP in the works. Yay.
I'm interested to see what that'll be.
Me too. We know nothing about it because it was said by Satomi-san, Haruki Satomi, the CEO of Sega, in a Famitsu interview. And they just say that they have a new IP in the works. That's literally all we say. So we have no idea what it is. We don't have no idea if it's a Yakuza style game or something completely different. So we'll just have to wait there.
Yeah, because they've got the Yakuza remakes. They have 6 finished. 7 will be in production.
It's not 7. Shin Yakuza.
Okay. All right. And they have the Fist of the North Star Yakuza game essentially because it's the same voice actors and the same like everything. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see because I like what they've been putting out. They've been working hard.
Speaking of Yakuza 6, this is just out, it will be old news tomorrow when you listen to this podcast, I guess. But when we're recording it on Sunday evening, this was just fresh news. Yakuza 6 had its biggest launch in the UK, biggest of the Yakuza series ever.
Oh, really? Wow.
So yeah, beating Yakuza Kiwami by 300 copies. It's still the biggest. I mean, it's 300 copies, but it's still the biggest. I mean, this means that the Yakuza series is becoming more and more popular with time. Instead of like declining in the West, like in Japan, it's been kind of declining a bit. In the West, it's becoming more popular, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I think Yakuza 0 really helped to stir up a lot of hype for the games.
Definitely.
And so that I'm happy to hear that. I mean, I'm really loving the Kiwami updates, remakes, whatever you want to call them.
Full remakes.
Yeah, they're full remakes. And I'm really, based off of what you said about Yakuza 2 and then just my own experience with it, I'm really, really excited to see Yakuza 2 Kiwami. I'm going to miss the Majima Everywhere system. I don't know if that's in there, but that was so great.
Maybe it's going to be there.
Oh, man, that was so amazing. And my roommate would walk in at the perfect time, every time, for him to Majima to just be doing something super weird.
Were you embarrassed?
No, I was laughing my ass off, and she was like, "What is happening?
Okay.
Why is he in a stripper outfit?"
So, last piece of news. This one is painful. So, Konami, and you already know where I'm going.
I think I do.
Konami announced.
So let's talk about Bloodstained, right?
They announced Castlevania Grimoire of Souls for iOS.
Oh, man.
I mean, I've been defending them.
This is not a pachinko machine.
No, I've been defending them because, that they're developers that do work and whatnot. So I don't like when people say F Konami and whatnot. I really don't because it's kind of disrespectful that, but sometimes it seems
they're
that
not
they're doing
helping.
it on purpose.
They're really not helping.
It's more multiplayer based, so free to play multiplayer. So yeah. Why are you not using your IPs for something interesting for consoles or PC or whatnot?
You literally have Silent Hill. You got.
Don't say silent. Don't say silent. No, don't say it. Too
I know.
Soon.
Yeah, I know. Let's make a pachinko machine out of it. That'll get the kids excited about Silent Hill again.
The kids. Pachinko machine for 50 years old people.
Yeah, the kids.
Funny thing is that the pachinko industry has been declining a ton in Japan. So you see less and less people inside those parlors. I never actually set foot inside those because they're kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never been there.
No, I haven't, but I've seen the little balls and I've seen pictures and I'm like,
Well, I have no idea how you play that, to be honest.
You get these little engraved balls and then you put them in a machine and then it's I don't know.
There is pachinko and then there is patches slot, which is more similar to slot machines.
Yeah.
But yeah, those places are kind of scary. But I don't know. I can't enter there. There are two places I don't go into. There are two places
You're
I
like a
don't go
vampire,
in Japan.
pachinko vampire.
There are two places that don't go in Japan. One are pachinko parlors and the other one are maid cafes.
Except for that one time. Well, that wasn't.
I never went. I never.
Well, I'm
went
talking about the My Hero Academia. But
that wasn't the maid cafe.
Yeah.
It was a themed cafe. It was just
filled with
inside.
females.
It was but that was customers. There was no maids inside.
Okay.
There was no maid doing the little spell, kyun kyun, whatever. No.
Oh God.
And I know about that only from anime, by the way.
Sure. You keep sticking to your story.
All right.
Oh,
Do you have any news of your own, or shall we go into the leading remarks?
I think that's about it. We had a lot of exciting news. I mean, Final Fantasy VII and then all of this. So I think we're good.
We're good. We can just go into the quitting remarks because we're done for today.
The quitting remarks.
Because I'm quitting. So yeah, basically, we're done for today. So thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. I know listening for an hour is a long time, so thank you a lot for all the time you dedicate to us. We're gonna try to improve. With time, we both are newbies at podcasting, so I hope you are enjoying it. So if you enjoyed it, if you're on YouTube, please add a subscribe and like if you can, because that helps, makes you feel that you actually like what we're doing. Comment on the site, on YouTube, anywhere you comment, tell us what you want, what you don't want, what you think is good, what you think is bad. So thank you very much for supporting us. So this is Giuseppe Nelva. And I'm out. And what about you?
And this is Emily Hobbs, and I'm out. And thank you all for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.